Right then, Thursday the 24th of July in Celtic are of Thai, Italy. Big friendly lined up the night against Ajax in the Como Cup. But dinny worry, we'll get Thai that game later on. Before we day though, there's honestly a mountain. Oh, things Thai talk about. The season's nearly own us less than a fortnight away and everything's starting time move at pace. Players coming back, some leaving, new names getting mentioned. And Brendan Rodgers speaking new WI some. Proper detail, so strap in because there's night time Thai waste. Let's start WI training at Lennoxtown yesterday. The squad went through their final session before flying to Thai, Italy. And thankfully the club dropped their usual behind-the-scenes footage. Always handy, that gives us a decent look at who's actually involved at this point. First thing, that jumpsuit Alistair Johnston back in the mix, a proper boost. He's been out a while and Thai see him back on the pitch moving freely is exactly what we wanted. Couldn't they have timed it better? WI the season nearly here. Shunsuke Yamada was on the pitch as well, and it's great to see the new lad getting his bearings in the squad, but it wasn't just the big names. There were a few surprises and some question marks. Cameron Carter-Vickers was training, which is class considering we need him up Thai speed sharpish. Would be ideal if he got some minutes in Italy. Then there's Marco Tilio. He was there Thai even though folk have been saying he's close. Thai moved Thai Rapid Vienna. Whether he traveled Thai Italy we didn't ken yet, but still interesting that he's involved at all. Oh, and Young was spotted Thai. Despite that viral photo WI him wearing a Norwich shirt the other night, he was at training, so read into that what you will. Stephen Welch Thai was back in full training, and that's a bit mad considering how distraught he looked when he came up against Cork City a couple weeks back. Looked like he'd done his shoulder in bad, so either he's recovered way quicker than we expected or he's being kept involved. Thai try and get a move. There's been noise about Belgium again, we'll see what happens. But I full training, so at least that's a positive. The whole squad was there bar to names Hyo Kwan and Hyo Kwan. Same guy, just folks spelling it differently. Thai be fair, he's barely been seen in training and all this summer. Did pop up in one of the club's early videos sin next Thai Benji Negrin having breakfast. But beyond that ghost mode, turns out Brendan Rodgers has now confirmed that Kwan will be leaving the club, and according to Thai reports from France, he's set Thai sign permanently. WIFC Nantes. 3-year deal, medical supposedly done already, and ye know what, it's a weird one. He signed 2 years ago, full scarf above a head job. And he's leaving without playing a single competitive minute. Not one. Think about that. Nigh cameo. In a cup game, nigh dead rubber league match, nothing. And it wasn't like he was signed for the B team either. Press conference, photo shoot, the full works. But for whatever reason, it just never happened for him. That got me thinking. How many players have Celtic actually brought in over the years who never played a single minute? Competitively, turns out more than you'd expect. Recently, we've had a few who barely featured. Marco Tilio, for instance, had a couple cameos off the bench. Liam Shaw and Osazi Hoide both had a wee run out in that Real Betis game underage. They count, but just barely. Then you've got that infamous trio from the same summer, Luca Connell, Jonathan Afolabi, and Leo Connor. Some might argue they were more B-team style signings, but they were all announced as first-team additions. None of them ever made a competitive appearance, and that same window Jeremy Frimpong came in, the one real success story. He more than made up for the rest WI his performances and the cash we got when he moved on. Ye can go back further. Remember Andrew Gutman and Manny Perez, American fullbacks, signed Thai some fanfare. Never played a minute. Weird signings. Kunde Benyu got a few minutes, as did Marian Schiff, who famously triggered Rogers' weave. Got a million wingers comment. He was technically a signing for the future, but never really got going. Even deeper into the archives, Jeremy Aliadier on loan from Arsenal made a couple sub-appearances, but never made a dent. The Chinese defender we brought in, who had that horror debut against Clyde, subbed at halftime. Never seen again. And of course the legend that is Raphael Scheidt. 5 million quid in 1999, one start. Honestly still gets brought up as the worst signing in our history. Brutal, but I back Taekwon. He's not quite Scheidt level, but it is another modern example of a Celtic signing that just never happened, and it raises questions again about the recruitment policy. Who's making the calls and what the long-term vision is? Speaking of long-term, we got an update on Lennon Miller last night. Reports now suggest he's leaning towards a move abroad. Celtic have long admired him, but it looks like he prefers a move outside Scotland. Quite surprising, actually. Many expected this to be a drawn-out saga this summer, but it's gone pretty quiet. And maybe that says something. Our midfields already packed, so there might no be a clear path for him in our first team. Shame, because ye always like Ty see the best Scottish talent staying in the country. But if the space isn't there, what can ye do? Meanwhile in Italy, Brendan Rodgers and Callum McGregor sat down wi the media yesterday. Nigh bombshells really. Bit o' chat about Italian football, about Scottish lads in Serie A, that sort o' thing. But near the end, Rodgers did get asked about transfers. And that's where things got a bit more interesting. He spoke about the gaps in the squad, particularly in attack, and acknowledged we need to strengthen. Said he's confident those areas will be addressed before the window shuts. But ye can how it goes. We've heard that before, haven't we? It's not a dig at Brendan, but every summer it feels like we're hearing similar things. Then the window closes and we're left wondering why key areas weren't sorted. But to be fair, he also spoke to the written press, and those quotes had a bit more depth. He addressed this idea that there's basically the parallel recruitment strategies at Celtic right now. First-team ready players like Tierney or Negrin, and speculative signings for the future like Callum Osadun, Hayato, and Amura, and even Yamada. Now Rodgers was keen to point out he has full control over these signings, whether they're for now or later. He said the club's recruitment team brings in names, but he assesses them all and decides who can step up. For example, he mentioned that Inamura was expected to need a loan, but he's actually impressed in training and might be ready sooner than thought. Yamada's just in the door, so still early days, but he's got traits they like. And look, there's no real issue wi developmental signings as long as they're not taking precedence over actual first-team needs. The fear is always that we're gambling on youth while leaving glaring holes unaddressed. Rodgers did say he wants quality and that there's still work to be done, but it's the urgency that's worrying some fans, because here's the thing. The deadline for us is near the end of August. It's the Champions League qualifier. That's the game that really matters. We made over £37 million from UEFA last season. Rangers, by contrast, made less than 13 from their Europa League run. That's a massive difference. And beyond the cash, it's the prestige, the competition, the whole buzz of being in the Champions League. So when Rodgers says he'd be fine if players arrive at the end of the window, I get it. That's how the market works, but ideally we'd have our main additions in now. 10 days to go, and there are still proper gaps in the squad. The attack's light, we're short a striker and we're potentially losing more players. Time's ticking. He also mentioned players like Austin Trusty, Gustav Lagerbielke, and Make Nawrocki. Said they weren't bad last year, but will be wanting to see them kick on this season. Fair. They weren't disasters, but they've got to raise their level. And as for Callum McGregor, spoke about his tears after the Aberdeen final. Said that moment showed how much Celtic means to him. Thought that was a really honest insight. Shows the weight he feels as captain and his drive to bring success. Celtic versus Ajax in the Como Cup. This week tournament's already underway. The hosts Como kicked things off last night by Coman from behind. Ty beat a Littahad pour 3 goals to 1. Bit Owen eye-catcher there. Nicholas and Alex Val both started the match. I remember them, and get this fool's gone blonde. Took me a second to clock who he even was. So Como now in the final on Sunday. A Littahad will be playing the third place playoff on Saturday. For Celtic it's simple. Beat Ajax the night and we're in the final. Lose and it's the playoff match for us. Either way, to more games to get ourselves ready for competitive action. Now Ajax, big name in European football, no doubt. But the club's been through a bit of a transition phase recently. They've got a new manager, or better said, a new old face. Johnny Heiting, a former Netherlands and Everton defender. He's just been appointed full-time after a spell as assistant to Arne Slot at Liverpool. Funny how these managerial circles always overlap. Heitinga replaces Francisco Forioli, who was even briefly linked to Celtic before Brendan Rodgers came back last year. Ajax finished second in the Eredivisie last season behind PSV Eindhoven. And get this, second place in the Dutch league is enough to go straight into the Champions League. Meanwhile, here in Scotland, the champions have to slog through qualifiers. No bitterness here, of course. Total fairness, obviously. But it means Ajax are already prepping for the group stage. So tonight is another clash with a proper Champions League opponent. That makes 3 in a row for us in preseason. First Sporting, then Newcastle, and now Ajax. Nigh easy run. They've had a decent preseason so far. This'll be their 5th friendly, and they're unbeaten in the previous 4. They put 6 past Hibs at the start of July, which sounds more like a FIFA glitch than a real result. But it happened. They also beat Greg Taylor's former club PAOK and got another win over Midtjylland at the weekend. So they'll be sharp. Their domestic season starts a week after ours, so we might still have a wee edge in fitness. But it'll be tight. Was having a read through some Dutch coverage to see what they're saying. Heitingus confirmed that a couple o' their young stars like Jorel Hatto and Kenneth Taylor won't be involved tonight. Still plenty to keep an eye on in that squad. Romain Saiss is there now. He's a name we were linked with last summer when he was still in Spain at Real Valladolid. He's moved to Ajax now, so he'll likely be involved. Up front they've got Wout Weghorst, the big Dutch striker everyone remembers from the World Cup, and also Davy Klaassen, who's been a constant figure there over the years. But generally speaking, this Ajax side is full of young hungry players looking to break through. They're also using a special badge this year, and Oldschul designed to mark their 125th anniversary. Now look, I love a bit o' retro, but I'm no entirely sold on this one. Just looks a bit out of place next to modern kits and sleek logos. But each tie their own. That's Ajax's call. So what can we expect from Brendan Rodgers tonight? Well, it'll be interesting to see how he approaches this with 2 games in 4 days. I've got a feeling we'll see a near full-strength 11 tie start tonight. Maybe giving the main lads 70 minutes or so, then a bit more rotation. On the weekend, I'd be surprised if we do the full 45 split in both matches like earlier in pre-season. We're past that now. We need to see our strongest side get minutes together. Some reports floated about last night claiming that Shunsuke Yamada might not feature tonight. Not sure if that's come directly from Brendan or just media speculation, but apparently Cameron Carter-Vickers and Alistair Johnston should be involved, which is a wee bit surprising. Johnston's been out longer, whereas Yamada's been playing regularly until recently, so it's hard to say what the thinking is. Might just be about getting certain players minutes depending on where they are physically. The backdrop for the match is something special as well. It's being played at the Stadio Giuseppe Sinigaglia. No the most modern stadium by any means, but the view is absolutely stunning. Nestled right on the edge o' Lake Como, surrounded by hills and trees. One o' those places that makes ye stop and appreciate football in a different light. Only thing is the atmosphere might be a bit flat. Highlights from the Como game last night showed a lot of empty seats. And that was with the home side playing, so could end up feeling like a closed-door friendly. Eerie quiet, not quite what you want against a team like Ajax. Hopefully some local fans turn up, maybe a few Celtic or Ajax fans travel as well to create a bit o' buzz. Kickoff set for 7:30 Celtic Park time, and as far as I can tell it's being shown only on Celtic TV for fans in the UK. Another good chance to see where we're at physically, tactically, and mentally. Pre-season has had its ups and downs, but this is one o' those games where you can properly judge things. The kind of match where mistakes get punished and strengths are truly tested. I'll be paying close attention to how we look defensively. That's been a worry in parts o' pre-season. Not necessarily individual errors, but more the overall shape and communication. Carter-Vickers coming back is massive because he brings calmness and organization. The sooner he's up to speed, the better. Same W.I. Johnston. He gives us real width and aggression on the right. And of course, we're still waiting to see who might leave before the window shuts. If Young or Tilio go, we're short on wingers, and if injuries pop up, we could be in a tight spot. Midfield's probably our most stacked area, and I'll be curious to see who gets the nod in the engine room tonight. Callum McGregor's a lock naturally. Then it's about who partners him. Turnbull had it, O'Reilly, home, Yamada if he plays. It's a proper fight for places, and Rodgers will want to see hunger and intensity from everyone. No passengers this close to the season starting. Up top it gets tricky. Kyogo's gone. O's out. Meid is probably the main option now unless Rodgers throws a curveball and tries someone else through the middle. That's why the call for a new striker makes perfect sense. We can't go into a Champions League qualifier WI limited firepower. You need options. You need that cutting edge. That brings us back to Rodgers' comments. He seems confident players will come in before the window shuts. Says he's got full control and believes in the recruitment process, but still the club need to act with real urgency now. There's no time I drag things out. Players need to arrive, settle, and get match fit. The Champions League qualifier is crucial, both financially and competitively. It's the sort of game that can shape an entire season, and it's not just about bodies in the door, it's about quality. Players who can come in and immediately raise the level. Guys like Negrin and Tierney have shown that the right targets are out there. Now we need to add a few more in key areas. Another winger, a striker, maybe a versatile defender. We're close, but no quite there yet. Tonight's game against Ajax is a marker. A chance to see how far we've come this preseason and how much still needs to be done. It's against the proper side with good pedigree, and if we're not sharp they'll punish us. But it's also a chance to build momentum, to find rhythm, to get confidence rolling into the competitive fixtures. So I big night ahead, gorgeous. Setting big opponent and loads to play for, even if it's just a friendly on paper. This is the time to lay down a performance that says we're ready. A performance that says we're Celtic and we're coming. Match kicks off at 7:30. I'll be watching, taking notes, and we'll be back to more a tie break it all doon. See ye then. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. There's a murmur swirling around Easter Road that could soon find its echo in the corridors of Celtic Park. Elie Youan, the explosive French forward who's lit up Leith with his pace and flair, is now being whispered about as a potential secret weapon for the green and white side of Glasgow. Sources close to the Edinburgh club hint that Youan, long admired for his ability to unsettle defenses and conjure chances from nothing, may be on the radar of Celtic's recruitment team, with the Hoops always on the lookout for that unpredictable element in the final third. Youan's dynamic style could be exactly the jolt their attacking line needs, especially as they gear up for another grueling domestic and European campaign. It's far from confirmed, of course, but in the smoke and mirrors world of summer transfer chatter, the Youan to Celtic talk refuses to die down. Those in the know suggest that initial contact may already have been made, and while no formal offer has surfaced yet, the rumor mill is in full swing. For Hibs fans, it's a gut punch of a prospect. The Frenchman has been a standout figure, blending raw speed with flashes of brilliance that have turned matches on their head. Losing him to a premiership rival, and a title-chasing one at that, would sting deeply, but from Celtic's perspective, it's easy to see the appeal. Youan offers something different, a directness and hunger that could prove vital in tight fixtures or coming off the bench to change a game's tempo. Brendan Rodgers is known for liking versatile forwards who can play across the front line, and Youan fits that mold to a T. Whether there's real substance behind the smoke remains to be seen. But in the fevered days of July, with clubs jostling to get ahead of the pack, nothing can be ruled out. Keep your eyes peeled. Elie Youan in the Hoops. Stranger things have happened. Hello, fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.